two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Extraordinary People with Patricia. I have a special guest for us today. So, we're going to talk about a love story. The love story of my guest with garbage, no less. I am paraphrasing his own words from a TED Talk he did a few years ago, which you have to watch. It will make you smile and laugh and give you a different perspective on how we see garbage. When we hear the word garbage, we feel aggressed, maybe disgust. When he speaks the word garbage, he sees beauty and potential. My guest transforms the unimaginable into innovation, creativity, and usefulness. He makes it so captivating. I have never been a radical environmentalist, yet my guest's work grabs my attention. I am interested, as you will be too. Each and every parcel of garbage with love and attention can become an essential element in our life. My guest has dedicated his own life to make use of its full capacity and makes our environment so much cleaner on its way. In this episode, we will awaken so many unknown possibilities where each and every one of us can be an active participant and contributor. As well, my guest insists that each and every one of us has a clean role as an active participant and contributor. Please welcome Ziad Chaker.
Hi.
Hi, Ziad.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me
Oh,
today.
thank you for having me.
So, I just want to ask you a question before we start, because
Sure.
you're also known as the, sorry, I feel weird saying it, but the garbage king of Beirut.
Yeah, of course.
But I was just wondering who coined this term?
I think it was a video that someone from Aussie Media,
Oh,
OZY.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the ones who coined the term.
They gave you
The
this
garbage
nickname
king of
because
Beirut.
you work so, you want,
Yeah, because we at the time when they were filming, we we're very active in Beirut. We
you
have
are, right.
and I have like a clear plan for how to make Beirut green using
Yeah.
its own waste resources.
Yeah, which is just amazing.
So so this is why they coined the term the garbage
Do you
king of
like
Beirut.
it?
Yeah, it doesn't bother
It
me.
doesn't phase
I
you
don't
at
like
all.
I don't like royalty.
Yeah.
For the longest time, my friends used to tease me by saying, "Hey, garbage man." So yeah, that stuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I used to give business cards, now I don't anymore. I just give them an electronic card.
Right.
But on my business card, it used to say Ziad Chaker, under it GM.
Okay.
But under GM, people would think when you give them a card, it's
General
like general
manager.
manager. But
Right.
then under GM in parentheses, it says garbage man.
Okay. Well, there is something noble in it, actually.
Oh, there's nobility in everything we do,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, part of the work that I love is that we're trying to bring down the stigma against garbage people and scavengers and
You
people
really
who work
do,
with them.
actually. And especially when I heard your TED Talk, it's just so inspiring. And
Thank
it's
you.
in Arabic, but it's
Yeah.
it's so easy to listen to, and it really
Yeah.
captivates you.
Yeah. Somebody put captions on the YouTube, so
Okay.
you can follow the English
Right.
translation, but it doesn't give it justice, I guess.
No, because you tell the
in
story.
Arabic.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have the
it
expressions.
has all the
and
nuances
everything.
in Arabic.
Yeah, it's such a nice story. And I'll be honest, you captivated me at first because I didn't know about you. I just recently learned about you. When I saw on social media, you started covering potholes because our roads are in like terrible conditions right
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
these are very dangerous.
Yeah, of course.
And you found a solution for them, all
Yeah.
while doing good for the environment. Can you tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
the nature of my work is research and development. Um, I am an environmental engineer, but I'm also an industrial engineer. So there's a huge aspect of my work that is industrial engineering.
Yes.
And so we make our own machines and we do a lot. I come from a research background, and I love research, and I think and we really lack research in the Middle East. So a few years back, we were researching an extrusion technology. Extrusion is like when you crush plastic or when you shred plastic, and you
Okay.
put them through a machine, and that machine kinds of melt them and pushes them through a mold.
Oh, okay.
And the
And you
molds
put the mold that you want.
and the molds we were using,
Okay.
we were producing what is called in industry profiles. So it's like a square beam,
Okay.
and it's of various sizes. So when they stole the manhole covers to sell them on the scrap market, my friends were calling me, asking me if I can come up with a solution.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah. And you did.
and I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did actually.
Yeah. And you covered several of these potholes.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of them.
And you
Yeah.
probably saved a lot of people like
I hope so.
headaches
This
and
is no,
health
actually,
issues
I
and
hope
stuff.
we saved lives because
Yeah.
I've heard a lot that a lot of people had accidents
Bicyclists.
and
Yeah.
bicycles, even pedestrians. And when you fall, even in your car, if you fall in an empty manhole
Yeah.
cover,
It can jerk you a little bit.
it will destroy your car. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
that's a huge bill for
Yeah.
repairs. Huge, extremely
Especially
huge.
when the roads aren't even lit at night.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can't see them.
Exactly.
So this plastic that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, the beauty of
Yeah.
it is that this is what we call single-use plastic. So this is your potato chips bag, your nuts bag, your
Oh, okay.
supermarket bag.
Okay, it's not
all
the water
con-
bottles and things like
No,
this.
no, it doesn't have water bottle. We don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to recycle water bottles myself because I'd rather put them aside and give them to the established industries that do recycle them.
Oh, okay.
We only concern ourselves with plastics that no one else recycles.
I'm just amazed that nobody's thought about this before. I mean, even
I'm
in
sure
other
they
countries.
did. I'm sure they did. Listen, I mean, recycling plastics, you need a lot of patience. You need a lot of money. You need a lot of passion as well.
Yeah, you do have passion.
Yeah.
And actually came a little bit, I don't want to say later in life, but later in your academic life. Because you didn't start out at university.
Well, actually, it
environment.
was at the beginning. I was lucky. I found my calling. I was like just probably 19 or 19 and a half. Yeah, but I had gone through 1 year of medical school, which was horrible.
Okay, and then you went through chemical engineering?
Yeah, it was a French system medical school.
Oh, okay.
That's
The
like,
French system is
that's
it's very
torturous
strict.
on itself.
Right, okay.
And it was designed in a way, they were just using you to make money off of your tuition.
Oh,
Because it was very competitive, and
Okay.
they would
But-
admit about like 120 students, and
Out
then
of
at the end of
70.
the year they would only take 60.
wow.
So yeah,
Half of
you'd
them.
imagine, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, something
okay.
like that. It was very
Okay.
competitive.
So it wasn't very
I did not.
stimulating.
I did not know. I mean, I don't mind competition. Although I learned later in life not to compete with anyone except your own
Yeah,
view of yourself in
Yeah.
the next few years.
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's my only competition now. I don't care.
I don't see anybody that does what you're doing actually. right
Don't matter,
now
even
at the
if they
same
do.
level.
I'm teaching a lot of young and upcoming entrepreneurs to do the stuff I'm doing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And yeah, we stopped patenting all our inventions as well, so that people can
Okay.
use them.
Oh, you did patent them.
We patented one, and it got stolen, so we decided to stop.
I
Yeah,
can't believe all of these
yeah.
obstacles.
It was
that
stolen
you
by
had
an
to-
NGO actually.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, by an NGO, and they're funded by like a major country. It's
So you're not
human
just,
nature is sometimes it's
It
ridiculous.
is. So you're not just struggling against like the environment.
I'm not struggling.
Factors, you're
I'm not struggling. I'm
against
fighting.
the
It's not.
fighting.
It's not a struggle.
You get
We
obstacles.
enjoy it. We enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy. We know that there are very few people willing to go through the discipline of seeing it through.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of people want to get rich quick.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
You have to be very patient, and paradoxically,
Disciplined.
we don't care about getting rich.
Your
we
satisfaction
made
comes.
we make a very decent living. We don't care about a lot of the luxuries of life. I really don't care about them.
But you
I don't want an apartment in downtown area.
Right.
I don't want a Porsche. or a Ferrari.
Your satisfaction comes from
I,
somewhere
you
else.
know, yeah, exactly.
You say that the garbage, nothing like when you go to a recycling plant, you built a recycling plant. Oh, just one or more
Oh,
than
I've
one?
built 13, so 14 so far.
14. So you said that with the waste, you can use it for everything. Nothing from the waste goes to waste.
Yeah, but you have to have the infrastructure for that. And to have the infrastructure for that, you have to have the research to develop
Right.
that infrastructure. This is
Okay.
where most of the countries lack.
Most of the countries?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course,
So
you
then
know,
we're very lucky to
even
have
in
you here.
France, even in the US, they either rely on landfills or they rely on incinerators.
Right.
Burning plastic is a waste of resource. Plastic is oil. And look now at the prices of oil.
Right.
And plastics last for 400 years.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
And you
So when you go and you invent a vertical farming unit made from recycled plastics, that vertical farming unit is going to last you a good couple of
500
hundred years. Yeah, exactly.
It'll give back at the same time.
It will pay for itself within probably less than a year.
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm surprised nobody else thought of it.
Maybe they did, maybe they don't. I don't know.
Because they talk a lot about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
environmental
You see,
crisis
this is the
and
problem.
everything.
This is the problem in the environmental sector, Patty. There's a lot of people doing a lot of talk, and there are very, very few people doing actual work. I see it. I
Okay.
see it all over the world.
All over the world.
It's very easy to talk, you know. And
Right.
the tragedy was that there were people donating money for people just to talk. You know, they hold meetings, they take photos, they go on social media, but they even implement, you know, I know of projects that were paid millions of dollars and they couldn't survive for 1 year.
What's very interesting about you when I talk with you is that you're not like those radical environmentalists that say we shouldn't
I'm not
you're not.
no, I'm not a radical environmentalist.
No,
I'm
like
not a radical anything. I
no,
hate
you
radicals. Radicals are people who are unwilling to talk.
Yeah.
Anyone who is unwilling,
Communicate.
no,
Right.
not just communicate. Listen, I think real progress is when you yourself have the ability to question your own beliefs or belief systems. Because a lot of people are so set in their own belief systems
Right.
that it eventually it engenders conflict.
Okay, so to evolve, you mean? And
You know, our societies, the human species evolved because they kept questioning everything.
right. Curiosity.
Up until now,
Yeah.
you have a huge debate between people who still believe that God created the human
Body.
species,
Yeah.
you know, by
Right.
spitting in a handful of soil.
Right.
This is the
Ashes.
story how we were told,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
yeah.
he took a handful of soil and he
Even
spit in it.
in the story of Genesis, there's 2 or 3 versions of it
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, you know, and you know, you have science that you know Darwin
Disputes
came
it,
and
yeah.
says, you know, listen, you know, this is how we evolve, and now a lot of scientists have proven the Darwin theory, and that you
Right.
know we keep evolving.
Because
We
we
keep
always
evolving.
question everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we question, you know, you question authority, you
Yeah.
question mainly if you really want to progress is you have to on a regular basis question your belief system.
I think it's also having an open mind.
How can you question
Right.
your belief system if you don't have an open
Yeah.
mind?
And of being
And they're
right.
mutually, I mean, they're mutually beneficial. You know,
Yeah, of
the more you
course.
question yourself, the more you have an open mind, and the more you have an open mind, the more you're gonna question your
Yeah.
belief system.
I mean, just by discussing with you, you're making me think about something differently.
And I tell you about my, like what people think about me when I say, listen, you're demonizing plastic, and it's wrong.
Right.
And people think that, oh, how can he say that? And
Right.
you know, plastic is just a material. It's just like glass. It's just like metal. It's just like wood. It's just
Okay.
like organic material. It's a material.
Right.
You know, plastic does not grow feet and decide to go swim
Okay.
or end up in the
I
ocean.
think the argument probably is that it's not biodegradable. I think that would probably what
It
is
doesn't
in the
matter.
back of your
Listen,
mind.
listen.
agree with
Glass
you.
is not biodegradable. Plastic biodegrades much faster than glass.
Really?
Yeah, of course,
Okay,
of
I
course.
didn't know that.
And glass, believe it or not, is a synthetic material. It's man-made.
From sand.
It's exactly
I still don't
from
understand.
yeah, it's
That's
sand,
works,
it's
but-
sand and chemicals and,
Right.
and all kinds of which they heat up and everything. Okay,
Right.
the problem is not plastic. The problem is with the abuse.
Perception.
Is the abuse of plastic. We live in the age of plastic. Now everything is in plastic.
Yes.
The whole world evolved because we were able to package food in plastics and make it affordable. Okay?
Also, the
Yeah.
life's rhythm has changed, so
Yeah,
everything's on the
yeah,
go
of
right
course.
now.
You can pack water in glass, and it's gonna cost you 5 times more if you pack that same water in a plastic bottle.
Right.
Now that plastic bottle should not end up in a forest, in a landfill, or in the ocean.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the humans, the managers, the
Right.
leaders of the society, the planners. Okay,
Yeah.
is to put a good working system so that plastic bottle ends up in a recycling facility, and that recycling facility does something good with it.
So
You know what we're doing now with recycled plastic bottles?
let me know.
They make them into a fiber, and we are using that fiber to grow bacteria on it, and we use that fiber and bacteria to treat wastewater.
Oh, so that's good.
That's great,
Yeah, it's great actually.
in my humble opinion.
Yeah, so you're not against not commercialism, but you're finding a solution for our everyday life sort of
What
thing.
do you mean by commercialism?
Well, I mean, people say like there's a lot of ways, like if you go to a coffee shop, those plastic cups and the paper cups, and we should use reusable cups. We shouldn't waste
Yeah,
so much in
fine,
that sense.
fine.
You're not against that. I mean,
No,
you
not
will-
at all.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
you're
use
working-
plastic bags in my food shopping.
Okay.
I don't use disposable cups in my studio. I have my mug and,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go to a coffee shop, do you take your tumbler with you?
No.
Okay.
You
So
know,
you're not right. That's what I'm saying, Anne. So
This is why
you're
the
working
bulk
with-
the
right.
bulk of my planning work
Yeah.
is to put down plans so
Right.
people can have the convenience of plastic,
Yeah,
and at the
exactly.
same time channel it.
Right.
I'm convinced 85% of the people, if you give them the proper means to dispose properly of
Yes.
their plastic waste, they will do it.
Yeah, you're right.
They will do it.
Yeah, so you
If
have
you
a
go
wide
walk
range.
on the streets and every 50 meters you have a collection bin or a recycling bin or what have you, people will use it.
Yeah, we will.
Even if you're smoker and if you have those
Cigarette butts?
cigarette butts collection units, people will use them.
Yeah, they will use it.
Yeah.
It's all a question
They
of
will not
civic
dump it on
education.
the ground just because there's. There are some MFers living among us, and they would do it even if the collection bin is there. But this is how human nature is, and this is why you have laws, and this is why you have penalties, and
And
this is how.
civic education.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to start with the kids.
Listen, we're not gonna get 100% of the society complying. All
No.
right. If we get 85%, the remaining 15%, they can be fined.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They can be fined heftily.
Yeah, so the way you're thinking, you have a wider reach of people in
Of
that
course.
sense. Yeah.
Of course.
Where you did succeed, and I'd like to talk about this, is in the village of Beit Miri. So you did succeed there, and what you're
course.
talking about, you built a recycling plant.
We built Beit Miri was the culmination of all our research
Right.
technologies being implemented under one roof. And just last month, we celebrated 6 years of continuous.
Already 6
yes,
years?
6 years, and we crossed the bar of 30,000 tons
Wow.
of garbage, remanufactured totally, zero waste.
Yeah,
we did
zero
not
waste.
we
This
did
is
not
what's
send anything
amazing,
to the
yeah.
landfill. Yeah.
And it's still working to today, and the
Yeah.
streets are clean.
Beit Miri is practically the only village in the Matan where you don't see garbage piling up on the streets.
Yeah, exactly. It's clean, and you got the population to
And Beit
participate.
Miri is the only municipality in the whole of the country that gets a bill at the end of the month showing them how much they first they
contributed?
pay as they throw. So anytime the municipality of Beit Miri implements a program of reducing waste, they can save money.
What do they do with the waste?
They bring it, they collect it, and they bring it to our facility.
Okay.
And in our facility, first of all, also Beit Miri is the only village, the only city that uses the 2-bag sorting system. So you have organics and tissue and diapers in one bag, and all the other stuff in another bag. So we make it easy for people, like glass, plastic, and metals, and aluminum and everything else. It goes in the blue bag.
What do you do with tissues and diapers? And
That we
like
compost them.
Oh,
We
they
do-
can
of
be
course,
used as compost?
they're cellulose based, yeah.
I didn't know that diapers can be used as compost.
They can. They have a plastic component to them, the outer wrapper, which we collect using a sorting machine. Yeah. The fiber and the baby poo, they would disintegrate inside the composting machine, or even inside the composting pile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well,
Yeah,
I
it
know
is.
my parents in Canada, I mean, we've evolved so much through the years. And like my dad, every time he eats a banana, he puts it in the compost bin and stuff like that.
Of course.
So it's just become a way of life right now.
It becomes a habit, of course. Yeah.
It's an easy
But
habit.
this is it's the government that implemented that habit, you know.
It brings awareness.
I shot a documentary about the waste incinerators in Denmark. And the guy told me, the engineer who was part of the documentary, that it's been 39 years that they have public service messages encouraging Danes to sort their waste.
Yeah. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
But you need to start, and this is what we are trying to do here without the help of our government.
I used to say, I tell my kids, because I was born and raised in Canada, and when we were young, there wasn't this idea of environmentalism and everything. And at first, sometimes we'd throw something, we'd eat like an ice cream and throw the paper on the ground and everything. It was like that at the time when I was...
Of course, it was
and
like this
then-
everywhere.
Yeah, and slowly they started educating us. We have to throw it in bins, and we'd get a fee or something, or
Exactly.
a ticket. If
Evolve. This is how societies evolve. You evolve. You start questioning, how long should I be dumping stuff on the ground?
Yeah.
For how long do I tolerate this?
Yeah, and it's too bad because you have a solution for every little piece.
Well, listen, I mean, Lebanon was very evolved in that as well.
Oh, it was.
Our anti-litter law dates back from 1974.
Really?
Yes.
1974?
Yes. And then the fine at that time, if they find you throwing anything from your car or littering,
Really?
it was 250 lira.
Right. Which
250 lira, and like the
about-
engineer wage at that time was 400 lira.
So it was about $80.
It was more than the half of your wage. And it was implemented, and Beirut was clean, and the whole country was clean.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, it's a matter of leadership.
Yes, and action on the ground.
Leader-
I believe in
There
action
are
on
no
the ground.
leadership if you can't call anyone a leader if they don't take action. Leadership and action are
It's not just sitting in the office giving orders.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your company is called Cedar Environmental.
The Cedar Environmental Company.
Yeah. And you do a lot of this recycling, everything. And I want to show, like, these are part of the, right?
Yep.
Part
This
of
is
the
our
product.
initiative. It's called GRIL, the Green Glass Recycling Initiative for Lebanon.
Yeah.
Because over the years, we lost our ability to recycle glass, colored glass on an industrial level. And this is why we came up with GRIL.
Yeah, so you figured out a nice use for us, an everyday use for us.
Exactly.
And what I didn't know is that the Murano glass that is very famous in Venice originated here.
It was the Romans who learned the technology from the Phoenicians.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Like,
And this is why I didn't want it to. I didn't want this art to die.
yeah. And is it developing more and more? Like, are the artisans doing things besides glasses and carafes and things like that? They're starting to do little
But
things.
we still need to do more. Now the energy crisis is not helping, but eventually, we hope that we will come up with a better solution than
Yeah.
using fossil fuels.
Right.
The Phoenicians used to use wood for their ovens.
Oh, so for the glass, they would heat it in wood.
They did not have mazout back
Right.
then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The problem is we lost the designs of the Phoenician ovens, and believe it or not, I'm working with a few archaeologists, and they are digging up
Really?
in the literature. They're trying to dig up the designs of the Phoenician glass blowing ovens.
Wow, that's so interesting. That
Yes.
should be a book or a class or something.
I
in
think someone is
universities
writing
and-
about it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's so much history from our land and from
course.
our people that hasn't been developed. It's
This land has been preoccupied by living humans for more than at least 7,000 years, way more. The latest digs show that 150,000 years ago, people were here.
yeah. You caught the attention from people outside of Lebanon also. Your work ethics and your business is featured in a Harvard business class.
Yeah, Harvard Business School
Harvard
case
Business.
study.
Case study. So how do you feel like when they took you as an example? Because you are against corruption.
Yeah.
You're not going into
Yeah, the case study
cronyism.
title is Cedar Environmental
Right.
Innovation versus Corruption in
Right.
Lebanon.
Right, because they're focusing on that
Yeah.
fact that you're not
Yeah,
going
no, they're
into the
focusing that there's this bunch of guys who decided that they're not going to engage in corruption to obtain waste management contracts because waste management is corrupt all over the world.
Okay.
And for me personally, it was a philosophical choice that under no circumstances will I engage in corruption to obtain contracts.
Yeah, and makes it more difficult for
Yeah.
you actually.
And when I came back from the States, there was Suclean here, and Suclean was a monopolistic contract obtained by corruption.
Cronyism, right?
And there was political profiteering from Suclean. They were overbilling the Lebanese population, the public coffers, and this is why I could not get. And the way
contract.
their contract was set up is that they would not, they know what they're doing. They would not let you compete in their area of operation.
Okay.
And Beit Miri was with Suclean.
Oh, at
And
the
the
time,
way-
6
yeah.
years ago, Suclean
No,
was still...
yeah. Remember, 6 years ago we
Yeah.
had the major waste crisis.
Right.
When the weight, then
Talat
when the
al-Hetkon.
exactly
Yeah,
when the
yeah.
when the waste crisis hit, the Suclean contract stopped.
Right.
They had no means to collect garbage and nowhere to take it.
Okay.
And it was in that window when the Beit Miri people called me and said, "Listen,
Oh, okay.
we have this problem. Can you help?"
And I'm sure they're very grateful that they called you at the
I
time.
hope so.
Yeah. I
And
wish
I'm
other
grateful for them as well because they allowed me to finally prove on an industrial level. Up till now we get on average 15 tons of garbage every day
Wow, just from Beit Miri.
just from Beit Miri.
So why wouldn't other municipalities also reach
Now
out?
because they're bankrupt. Before because they were stuck in a monopolistic contract.
But isn't there a way for them to make money from it, or
Not really. Not really. No one around the world makes money from their garbage, their own garbage, because
I see. Okay.
because you have there's a huge infrastructure cost
Right.
that you have to pay.
So we pay taxes for garbage
Exactly, this is
collection,
why.
and then okay,
It's called the tipping fee.
right. Oh, okay, I understand. There was something I wanted to say. Oh, I visited a community center, Dafa,
Yeah.
and as the lady was giving me a tour around, I'm just looking, and everything is recycled inside.
Of course, it's reused. Yeah.
Reused and upcycled, I have
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
And I'm looking around and I'm thinking of you the whole time. And then I mentioned to her, I said, Ziad is going to be a guest on the podcast. And she said, well, he did all the design. And it's just amazing. And I'd just like to mention a few of the things, like the ceiling is covered with egg cartons to reduce the echo.
Exactly.
Right, in the
Yeah.
room. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
And you have like those gallons, or what do you call them? The barrels
Yeah.
and they're also made with two stools, like you
Yeah, yeah.
cut them into.
Listen, actually, they have a very nice artist. Her name is Ulfat,
Okay.
Ulfat Hamdan, and she kind of likes my work a lot,
Yeah.
and she always tells me you are an inspiration
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
true.
like that.
Yeah,
And
she's
she
right.
implemented a lot of the things I profess most of the time.
Okay, because there's
But
also big
I don't want to
towers.
take
Full
credit
credit.
off of her. Yeah, she's an amazingly talented artist.
Okay, so she did all of this from.
She would ask me. She came
Yeah.
to visit my studio. My studio, where I work and live, is entirely made from recycled
I want
materials.
to mention about that because
Yeah,
when I visited, I was just amazed. I was just shocked
sure,
at the beauty that you can get from recycled material.
exactly.
Even the wall outside of your door
Yep,
is
yep,
made from tissue.
exactly.
And I
From
just couldn't believe it.
It's not tissue; it's cellulose fiber. These are
Okay.
the byproducts of tissue manufacturing.
Okay, I'm not the engineer, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But when you tell
you
people
made it simple
it's
for
made
me.
of tissue, yeah,
Yeah.
people think that it is fragile. It's not
No,
fragile.
it's not
Yeah,
fragile at all.
we have that technology now under our belt.
Mm.
You can create uh, recycled bricks if you want
Mm-hmm.
for indoor use.
Right. Yeah, because it looks a little bit thick. I wanted to ask you,
Yeah,
is it like wallpaper
you
or is it
can
like
you can
tiles?
control the thickness as much as you want.
Oh, so it'll be like tiles.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, that's amazing.
We're using it like in French they call it pierre de couverture.
Okay. Even the furniture, the chairs, the ceiling in your office is just so beautiful. It's all your design.
It's all our technology and my design. Yes.
Oh, okay. So now, like, because times are tough here, you're starting to look outside of Lebanon also?
No,
No?
no, I'm not looking outside
Oh,
Lebanon.
I thought you were. Then I'm
No, no,
mistaken. Okay.
no. I still find that there's plenty to do here.
There's more than plenty to do here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Listen, the bulk of our work is to make fertilizer, compost
Oh.
from garbage. Yeah, from the organic part, the food waste.
Oh, the bulk of your work is for compost?
In Lebanon, every 100 kilos of waste have of general garbage. They have
Right.
70 kilo of food waste in
I
them.
was gonna say we throw out so much
Yeah.
food.
So that's a blessing for us because those 70 kilos you can turn them into probably about 30 kilos of compost.
Yeah, for
And
agriculture.
now the whole world is struggling with fertilizers.
Oh, is it?
Of course,
How come?
because of the Ukraine crisis.
Why Ukraine used to
Yeah,
produce compost?
Ukraine and Russia. No, not compost. They produce chemical fertilizers. They're like the largest producers of
Oh,
chemical
I didn't know
fertilizers.
about
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know about the grain and obviously the
Yeah,
gas
they
and
are
everything.
they are a huge grain producers, but they are also a huge fertilizer producers.
Oh, I didn't
Them
know
and the
that.
Russians.
Wow.
And the whole market now is kind of struggling
Right.
with that.
So there's so much
So you
that's
have
affecting
you
us.
have all these resources underneath you,
Right.
like we produce garbage every day.
Do you teach at university?
I guest lecture. I don't have time to teach.
But even
But
guest lecture can
I do.
inspire the
Oh,
new
I do.
generation.
I have, I came back in Lebanon in 1996, and since then, not long ago, I celebrated my 3,000th lecture,
Wow.
all
And so,
for free, by the way.
and like, do the students come up to you and are they inspired? I
Yes.
can just imagine that because
They are, actually, they are, and this is what keeps me going as well.
yeah,
That
yeah,
it's nice to know that your work inspire other people,
yeah,
and
definitely.
especially students.
So if somebody would like to reach out to you or to learn more
They can
about your
find me on
business
my social media:
on Instagram and
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
okay.
I'm practically active on all platforms.
Yeah, I reached out to you actually.
Twitter
on
actually as well.
I reached out to you on Instagram. You were kind enough to
Yeah,
to
yeah.
reply
I
because it's just
I
so
don't reply
interesting.
immediately, but I always set I think social media is a very powerful tool, and
Yeah, if we use it
I would like
correctly.
I would like
Yeah.
to exploit it. What is using it correctly? You see. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just like books as well.
Same thing.
There are books that fill your minds, and there are books that are a waste of time.
The thing is to look and listen with an open mind and
Exactly.
question, just like you were saying at the beginning.
And dig deeper. There's gems all over you. You know, the internet brought us together, all of us, all the humans of this planet. We're connected via the internet.
Yeah, we should look at the good side of it.
Of course.
And take advantage of the good side of it.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Ziad, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a very stimulating talk.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go too much into politics and stuff like that, and we stayed into the environment.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, because it's something that you're providing for us, and you're teaching us, and you're giving us a little bit of hope for something that's a very big problem for us right now. And you're giving us solutions.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. In my mind, it's not only solved. In my mind, the garbage sector, the waste management sector, will provide jobs, will provide economic activity, and will be a boon for our agriculture.
Well, we love your love story.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
See ya.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.